west coast of Ireland this week on the trail of a former Don who's putting Sligo Rovers through their paces. He hasn't gone back to his roots. That would be Ecuador or Northern Ireland, who he played for on 3 occasions. So who is the man in charge?
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17...
It's none other than Lawrie Sanchez, who within 3 months of becoming a manager has taken charge of a side in the Cup Winners' Cup, and he's already made some big selection decisions.
I come here to manage. I didn't particularly want to play, but to get some results, I've just had to put my boots on the last few games, and hopefully we've turned a few results around recently.
What's it like going in at the deep end, as it were?
It's been interesting. I must admit I've enjoyed every minute of it. The results perhaps haven't been what I'd wanted, but I had a chance to manage in Europe in the Cup Winners' Cup, and that was great. I mean, we had a tremendous night in Bruges, and here, in fact. And I'm enjoying it all round, yeah.
And with a beautiful view over the bay from his new home, it looks like a well-planned move, but that wasn't the case.
I'd had 1 or 2 calls to play at lower division. Then out of the blue, I got a phone call from a gentleman here associated with the club and said, would I be interested in coming to Sligo to be player manager of Sligo Rovers? I thought, well, I would be if I knew where it was and what league they played in. And he said, we play in the League of Ireland and it's on the northwest coast. It's the last stop before America.
Sanchez hadn't travelled much before this. He spent more than 10 seasons with Wimbledon, but felt as a senior Don it was time to pass on his knowledge.
I could have played on for a couple more years, perhaps at a lower level, but I wanted to get into management. As an experienced player, it's very frustrating at times because you've got plenty to say, but you're only one of 11 players, and the manager can dismiss it or he can make use of it. I'm the manager here. What I say goes. I mean, you know, whatever I want to be done goes, and that's what I wanted to do.
Wimbledon making headlines is nothing new, and Sanchez knows exactly how his old club will cope.
This is normal. I mean, it won't affect the 11 boys in the dressing room. I know the dressing room there. I mean, these things, ever since we've been there, we've had the press giving us stick. If the press weren't giving us stick, it was other people giving us stick. The team itself will not let that worry them. When they get on the field, they will put in performances and performances and performances. All right, perhaps they might not have 1 or 2 at the moment, but they will, over the course of the season, more than survive. I'm sure of that, because I know the boys there. It will carry on with Wimbledon. Wimbledon isn't a team. Wimbledon get more newspaper coverage, more TV coverage than a club their size ever should do. I mean, they compete with Man United and Liverpool about the coverage they get.
The Crazy Gang certainly did compete with Liverpool in 1988, when they recorded one of the biggest cup final upsets. It was an extraordinary result, which Sanchez and the rest of the team quite rightly point to as the greatest moment in the Dons' short history.
It's a tremendous day for the club. I think us 11 players, or 13, 14 players that were involved, and the ones on the benches and the manager and, you know, Don Howe, Bobby Gould, everybody associated, will put that down as a special moment in their life, and I'm glad that, you know, it was me that scored the goal. I remember towards the end of the game I was thinking, you know, 1-0, I just hope they don't score another one to win 2-0, because then they'll have to share it. And the joke is, because obviously Dave then saved the penalty, my mate Dave saved the penalty, Dave Besson. The joke I always have with him is that a lot of people think he scored the goal as well, because that's the one thing they remember about the cup final. They sometimes forget that I scored the goal. I think he's still got the ball in his shelf at home, and I keep trying to nick it every time I go over to his house, but he keeps that cabinet locked.
Sanchez and the boys were all doing a jig that day, and that might just come in handy in his new home. Certainly the locals are drinking to his success. We wish him well. I think that's something he always accuses you of, isn't it? Forgetting who scored the winning goal.
Yeah, he always accuses me of that, but he's got no grey hairs yet, Richard. How long's he been in management?
He will have. Do you think he'll make a good manager?
He always
had plenty to say.
He always had a point to try and prove, but he'll enjoy it, and I think he's done a wise thing. If he wants to go into management later on, he's gone away and he'll experience what he's got to go through without any pressure of the media from England, but lovely to see him out there.